Okay, there we go. Let's try that now. Hopefully that is working. If you are on YouTube, if you are on Facebook Live, or you are on Twitch, you can let me know that you are hearing me okay. It appears that my microphone is working. All right, there we go. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are also live here on TikTok and Instagram Live. And unfortunately, we're coming to you tonight with some difficult news. If you have not heard, uh, Scott Hall, professional wrestler Scott Hall, former WWE, WCW star, WWE Hall of Famer, also known as Razor Ramon, he is on life support right now. He had hip surgery a couple of weeks ago, and he had a complication over the weekend, actually yesterday, where a couple of blood clots came loose, and he suffered 3 heart attacks yesterday and is currently on life support, according to pwtorch.com. And obviously, the world of professional wrestling has been coming together in support of Scott Hall, who obviously is a man who has had his own issues and demons and things that have happened over the course of the last few years, but he has worked diligently with Diamond Dallas Page on getting his health back, getting back to a good quality of life. But again, he ended up undergoing hip surgery just a few weeks back, and now again is on life support in a hospital in Marietta, Georgia, because of complications from the hip surgery. Again, he had a couple of heart attacks yesterday, 3 of them according to PW Torch, and there has not been an update right now, but it's not looking like a very good situation for Scott Hall. And again, he's a man that has overcome numerous different things over his life, overcome many different addictions and problems, and now is literally battling for his life, is fighting for his life right now as we speak. So this is a difficult time right now as a wrestling fan. You know, if you've watched wrestling for any period of time since the 1990s, you know who Scott Hall is, you know who Razor Ramon is. He was one of the biggest figures in wrestling in the mid to late 1990s. As Razor Ramon, he had the classic matches with Shawn Michaels over the Intercontinental Championship. They had the first ever major ladder match in WWF. He was part of that team with Kevin Nash that really shocked the world when they showed up as the Outsiders in WCW, and then became the NWO, and really turned the wrestling world on its ear when he did that. And he just many years as part of the NWO, but then also just a lot of problems going through his life, with drugs and alcohol, and they ended up just unfortunately portraying that in the later stages of WCW as a storyline, talking about that, and it's been very public, everything that he has gone through. But again, he has fought very hard. Mel and Carol, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Great to see you guys. Carol, the last that I have seen here, according to Twitter, is he is still on life support. There is no further updates that I have been able to see. Again, all of my information is coming from different accounts that I follow online. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Anytime we lose a professional wrestler, through whatever the case may be, it's really hard, because again, this is a guy, I have watched Scott Hall since the mid 1980s. I remember when he was part of a tag team with Kurt Hennig, And he was kind of pushed as the kind of the Magnum PI, the Tom Selleck kind of lookalike. And he just a bigger, good looking guy, was part of that mid 1980s kind of that final run that AWA really tried pushing before the WWF kind of took them down. So I remember him from prior to his days in, well, WCW. He was brought in as the Diamond Stud with Diamond Dallas Page, who they had met in the AWA. That's where DDP had gotten his start, was in the AWA, was back then. And so I remember Scott Hall back then, and then the vignettes of him in the late 1980s, portraying the Razor Ramon character, which was just incredible. Yes, he's had to battle his demons over the years, and we hear these stories a lot from the world of professional wrestling, especially guys, from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, on the road so much, dealing with injuries, dealing with, being, out and about as much as they were. And, there was only so much they could do. But Scott Hall was one of those guys that really struggled with trying to overcome those demons, which was a shame. But thankfully he had, a friend that loved him a lot in Diamond Dallas Page, who, wanted to see, what he could do for him, and not just utilizing DDP yoga, but, just being a friend for him and getting him the help that he needed. Scott Hall has had his ups and downs. He has fallen back a few times over the years, but it seems like he had kind of gotten better over the last couple of years. But age and time and everything really caught up to him, and he needed to have the hip replacement surgery. And just like with any surgery, there are complications. There can be complications, and even as something as basic as a hip replacement, complications can happen. And that's exactly what has happened to Scott Hall. Yes, many prayers for him, his friends, and his family right now. It's terrible news. We can only hope that that Scott Hall will be able to recover from this, that the damage is not to the point that he can't overcome it. But 3 heart attacks in one day, which obviously means most likely loss of oxygen to the brain. And if you know anything, that if the longer you lose oxygen to the brain, the harder it is for the body to recover from this. So and I'm not a doctor, I don't portray one on TV, but it's just the basic things that I know. So again, to the people that are jumping in late here on TikTok and Instagram Live, it's sad news that we need to be talking about here, but Scott Hall, the bad guy, Razor Ramon, is on life support right now. He went in 2 weeks ago for hip replacement surgery, or for hip surgery, and during recovery there was some issues, some complications. He I guess according to PW Torch, he passed a blood clot during the recovery process, and that got to his heart, and he ended up having 3 heart attacks yesterday, and is currently on life support in a hospital in Marietta, Georgia right now. So that is all the updates I have seen. I mean, obviously there have been a lot of tweets, a lot of messages, prayers and support coming from the world of wrestling. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has posted, among so many others have just come out in their support of Scott Hall. But right now, the situation is not looking good. Miracles can happen. Modern medicine is an amazing thing, but the fact that he is on life support right now, it's not sounding good. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that's really kind of where we're at right now. And it's going to be a tough couple of days here coming up. Hopefully we will get some updates, and hopefully we will get some positive news here. in the next day or so, but it's really hard to say. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on Twitter and all the news sources that I check into. And yeah, Mario on Instagram, we definitely hope he gets better. Yeah, not just the world of professional wrestling, but the world would not be as good of a place without Scott Hall. He's one of those guys again that we've watched him over the years. We've been entertained by him as a on-screen character. We've been saddened by some of the things that we've seen him go through, but he's also blessed many people. As he has improved himself, there have been numerous wrestlers that have come out and said, "Listen, Scott Hall has made an incredible impact on my life. He gave me so much great advice and so many things." There's still a lot left for Scott Hall to be able to provide the world right now. So hopefully we will be getting good news about him in the next few days. But as of right now, if you're a person that believes in prayer, please, let's say some prayers for him. Let's, get some well wishes going towards Scott Hall and his family and friends right now, because he needs our support. He really needs our support at this difficult time. I really don't. I'm not going to spend any time addressing anything else in the world of professional wrestling because I don't feel it would be appropriate right now. I want to keep it just specifically to what is happening right now, and there's really not much else to report. I've pretty much shared with you everything that I have seen online right now about Scott Hall. So this is going to be a very brief broadcast tonight. Just to get everybody caught up again, we've got a lot of people jumping in here on Instagram and on TikTok late to the story. So the report from PW Torch, and it has been confirmed by others, is Scott Hall is on life support in a hospital in Marietta, Georgia right now. He had hip surgery back on, I believe it was February 27th. And during the recovery process, they ran into some complications. According to PW Torch, he passed a blood clot that got to his heart, and he had 3 heart attacks yesterday, and he is now on life support. There are no further updates that I've been able to see on his condition other than he is on life support. It's a dire situation for him right now. 1 heart attack is bad enough, but 3 of them in one day could be devastating. And again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on television. But just from what I understand, yes, Roman, thank you very much for throwing up the prayer emojis on TikTok. We need to be sending as many positive thoughts and prayers towards Scott Hall as we can right now for him to be able to recover from this. Again, this is, I have fun on this channel. I tend to do a lot of goofy things and whatnot here, but tonight it's a very serious story. Miami, Miami. I hate to bring this up, but we're going to talk about it. It's going to be very hard for him to recover from 3 sustained heart attacks. You would hope that his close friends are by his side. Hopefully, they're not having to say goodbyes. Hopefully, they're not having to say their goodbyes right now. But I would tend to think that all of his closest friends are nearby him right now, and praying for a miracle right now. Hopefully, I don't want to discount your comments there, Miami, but again, we have to be prepared for the inevitable here, unfortunately, but you never know what can happen. God is a God of miracles, and if it's not his time, he'll still be around. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a few hours ago, he had tweeted, Scott Hall, pulling for you, my friend. Stay strong. We need the bad guy back in the game. So again, no further updates at this point in time. Just it's it's a dire situation. It really is. And I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. So wherever you may be this evening, whatever you may be doing, whether you were a fan of him or not, please, let's just send some positive thoughts and prayers towards Scott Hall right now, because he needs all of our support. I think I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. Let me just throw the update out once again, for anybody. Yeah, Mario, can't imagine the pain that his family is going through right now. It is a difficult situation. So real quickly, one more time, former professional wrestler Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, WWE Hall of Famer, is on life support right now in a hospital in Marietta, Georgia. He sustained 3 heart attacks yesterday in the hospital after hip surgery, after recovery from hip surgery, and they had to place him on life support. That is the last update that I have seen concerning his situation. Nothing else coming out. Again, it is a very difficult time right now, not just as wrestling fans, but as people. When we hear about things like this, somebody that for many years was in our households, was on our televisions, that we cheered for, that we booed against, that we watched in the ring and entertained us, and now we're seeing something like this. It always hits it always hits the world hard when you hear these things. We had another one today. Legendary actor William Hurt, who most people nowadays know him as Thunderbolt Ross from the MCU. He passed away today. It's a difficult time right now that we're living in, and anytime we hear these types of stories, it's hard to deal with. So I'm going to keep this brief this evening. Hopefully I will be able to share some better news with you tomorrow. I will post any updates I see on all my social media, anything that comes through. But again, let's say our thoughts and prayers for Scott Hall right now, please. And you know what I'm going to do real quick? Hang on. Where did I put it? I had it. In honor of the man, we're going to bring this out. This wasn't the official one that he wore, but it's pretty darn close. Scott Hall, we need you to come back one more time to make an appearance with a belt like this, my man. It's not your time. We need you back here still. So we need the bad guy to stick around and come back out and wear this belt one more time, even if it's just, a commemorative thing. We need you to come back, my friend. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody, this evening. Thank you so much. And again, hopefully we'll have some better news tomorrow. This is John from WrestleScope TV, and have a good night, everybody.